He's a controversial figure in Italian politics, but these scuffles weren't about Silvio Berlusconi. The far-left protesters were marching against a neo-fascist party, a sign of increasing tension ahead of the March 4th national election. But they needn't worry too much. Recent opinion polls indicate it's the 81-year-old whose tax fraud conviction bars him from returning to office, ironically seen as the safe pair of hands.
Italians, tired of empty promises, are turning to a man who they seemingly think echoes the easier times of the early 2000s, even if it's probably a bit of a dead end.
The three-time former Prime Minister heads a coalition made up of Forza Italia and two far-right forces, the League and Brothers of Italy. That coalition has about 38% support overall, the highest score out of Italy's three major electoral groupings. After a year of shock election results, or the lack of it in the case of Germany, one might think the markets would be on edge, but apparently right now they're not.
As it stands at the moment, bond markets, the sovereign debt markets, and, to be honest, probably the most important thing, the Italian banks looking fairly quiet as well.
However, the coalition is split over some issues, such as Italy's membership of the euro and who will be in control after the vote. That, though, could be seen as counting the chickens before they hatch.
Probably the main risk is that we get no real results out of this election. Another election has to take place later on in the year.
Indeed, the most likely outcome remains a stalemate, with no one party or coalition winning enough seats to be able to govern alone. And that means that almost a quarter of a century after first taking power, Berlusconi might just garner enough support to come back, not as king, but kingmaker.